Okay, so I'm laying in bed here, just got done watching it. So for my first experience of watching Incredible Hulk way back in the day, it was one of the first DVDs we received in the mail from Netflix when that was starting to become very popular. It definitely didn't let me down then, and it certainly did not let me down today. I actually personally believe this is the most underrated MCU film in the saga. It really is, because this film is far from bad. It's not perfect, it's not one of the best superhero films, but it's far from the worst. It really is such a good time. It's pretty fun, it's enjoyable for sure. I think the casting was great. Edward Norton did a great job as Bruce Banner. I do enjoy Mark Ruffalo's performance a lot more. However, I think he brought something to this role that was very scientific, and you really feel for the character of Bruce Banner. You really want to see him cure himself, even though by the end you know he doesn't, and we still have Avengers to get to. You still want him to cure himself, even though he doesn't, and I think Liv Tyler did a great job as Betty in a supporting role, and William Hurt did a fantastic job as General Ross. I think he is the best casting you could get for that role, and I certainly love that they brought him back for Civil War. Maybe he'll be in future MCU movies to go against Banner. I think that would be really intriguing. I want to see that. I want to see him and Mark Ruffalo's Hulk go head-to-head. Maybe he'll turn to Red Hulk one day, who knows? That's for Phase 4 to happen, maybe even Avengers 4, who knows? But it was a really good time. I think the story was pretty solid. I know a lot of people say you can't really do a Hulk movie successfully, but I think they did it here. And the unfortunate thing also is I think this is really the only successful story you could tell with Hulk. I don't know what more you can do with the character on his own. That's why we have him in the Avengers and Thor Ragnarok, and he's done so well there. And the fact that we're going to be exploring his character even more through team films is, I think, a great opportunity to flesh out the Hulk character even more. So I'm very much looking forward to that. I also gotta say that Tim Roth was really good in this film. I love Tim Roth. He's a great actor, and I thought he was really great as Blonsky. When he gets to Abomination, he's gone, and it's pretty much just CG. But I still enjoyed his lead up to that and his motivation of wanting more power. The fact that it leads into the whole super soldier thing with Captain America, I think that's really fantastic. A good way to weave in more of the MCU as we move toward the Avengers. And also I wanted to say that the music was really good in this. Now, I didn't get to say this in Iron Man, but I really enjoyed the music in Iron Man as well here in The Incredible Hulk. Now, I know a lot of people, like, there's been video essays about the Marvel music not being as good as it has been in the Avengers, and I agree. But there are themes when once you listen to them over and over, like a nerd such as myself, you do get familiar with them, and I can do the Iron Man theme anytime. Granted, I can't really do the Incredible Hulk theme unless I refresh my memory, but once I do, it does stick with me, and I think it's a great theme that fits the film. So I very much commend that. As terms of the visual effects, I thought they for the Hulk was pretty good for the most part. The CG wasn't 100% all the time, and you could really see that. This was 2008, which, we can do good CGI at that time. I mean, Star Trek came out a year later, but they still did what they could, and it looked pretty good for the most part. It wasn't perfect. It didn't get to the levels that we will see of the Hulk in Avengers, which looked incredible, pun intended. But they did what they could, and I thought it worked for what they were doing for the most part, and it really doesn't take me out of it. I just let myself get enthralled into the film, and I enjoy it for what it is. And I will say once again, this is the underrated film of the MCU. I really think you guys should take another look at it if you haven't in a while, because it really does deserve more respect. It is a really good film. It's not the best film, but it's certainly not the worst. Now, I will reiterate that so much. Now, I want to go ahead and touch on the quote-unquote end credit scene, because it's not really an end credit scene. It doesn't happen in the middle of the credits or the end. It happens right before. But you see how it ends with the counter of Days Without Incident, which I thought was a really cool thing with this film, of tracking how long it's been since the Hulk came out. That was a really cool touch. But the film does that, and it shows at the end that Bruce has power over the Hulk, like he's learning to control it. So for anybody who says in the Avengers, how can he just suddenly control it? He can always control it. You see it there in the Incredible Hulk. And before I get on the end credit scene, for people who forget that this is a part of the MCU, I can understand, since they changed actors and William Hurt didn't come back until Civil War, and there was like so many years between, that was a whole 8 years in between. But when you have stuff throughout regarding S.H.I.E.L.D. and Stark Industries, and the fact of the end credit scene that Robert Downey Jr. shows up, how do you forget that it's part of the MCU? Now, maybe you haven't watched it in a while, but I just cannot understand how somebody can say, oh, does it even count? Like, yeah, it counts, obviously. So, the end credit scene was really cool, because you see, General Ross is drinking in the bar, you know, he's pretty defeated, and then Tony Stark walks in, and he's letting him know, hey, we're putting a team together. He's like, who's we? And just boom, more for the Avenger Initiative. That's really cool. And now, to us audience, we would believe, oh, he's talking about Bruce Banner, but no, if you watch, The Consultant, the Marvel one-shot, the little short film that they made with Coulson and Jasper Sitwell's characters, they talk about how Ross wants to have Blonsky, the Abomination, in the Avenger Initiative somehow. I don't know how you would even want that after what happened in Harlem, but that is the case. So they were like, hey, what's the one thing we could do to discourage Ross from even being a part of this whole Avenger Initiative? Well, let's send in arrogant playboy Tony Stark. How about that? So that was really cool to see. I'm not really touching on the one-shots too much. I just wanted to bring that up, and I just gotta say it once again, the Incredible Hulk, pretty incredible, I must say. It really is good, so go check it out if you haven't in a while. And that being said, guys, come back every Monday officially for the next Marvel film. We're going to be tackling Iron Man 2 in the following week, so make sure you return for that on Monday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Monday, so you can look forward to that. And that being said, guys, hope you have a great day. May the Force be with you always.